It's
all
not
over.
just one or two guys. It's Celebrini, it's Bedard, it's Gauthier, it's Demidov, it's Schaefer, it's Leo Carlson, even Wyatt Johnston is still 22, absolutely tearing it up.
We've got to talk about kids these days. You were browsing some stats before the show. What were you saying to me?
I said, hey, do you know who is tied for the league lead in points after last night? And you were like, who played last night? Going through some teams. The answer is Macklin fucking Celebrini has the league lead in points, tied with Connor McDavid, although Macklin Celebrini has a game in hand.
Oh.
Has a game in hand.
I love game in hand talk.
But we've got a 19-year-old kid who is leading the league in points after another 3-point night last night.
And Sean, what was the point that you made about this? Because this followed a day in which we were talking about the league leaders in goals and how Cutter Gauthier was tied atop the list.
Yeah,
with 21 years old.
I compared it to the NFL. Like I feel like there was a day where we all woke up and looked up, and like all of a sudden the best quarterbacks in the league were Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, and like all of us, there were no more. Like Aaron Rodgers was an old man. Did I say Patrick Mahomes? Did I leave his name out? Like Manning and Brady are out of the league. Like all of a sudden the youth took over, and I feel like you were seeing a very similar thing in the NHL. Celebrini, like obviously, like Bedard is getting buried by all of this, but even he's playing well. Like it's
I don't
awesome.
think that Bedard's getting buried. I honestly think that like Bedard's kind of getting elevated. Like obviously the comparison of like, would you take Celebrini or Bedard? But like now it's like, look at both of these guys.
I meant more buried in the sense that like people aren't really paying attention to how good he's doing because they're spending so much energy on Macklin. But like, yeah, he's what did you say? He was top 10 in points too?
Yeah, he's top 10 in points.
So, like,
he had a goal and assist last night, 18 points in 14 games.
Like Cutter Gauthier is one of the most dominant goal scorers in hockey right now.
Yeah.
Like Macklin and Bedard are pouring in points.
It's not just a couple
Schaefer,
guys. That's
like,
the thing. It's
all
not
over.
just one or two guys. It's Celebrini, it's Bedard, it's Gauthier, it's Demidov, it's Schaefer, it's Leo Carlson, even Wyatt Johnston is still 22, absolutely tearing it up. Dylan Guenther's 22. Will Smith next to Celebrini.
And
there are so many guys now. Logan Cooley. Many guys right now who are 22 or younger who are like not emerging prospects. They are stars in the league now.
And we're less than a year away from a kid who's supposed to be better than all of them getting drafted.
Oh,
well, I don't know if he's going to
Keaton
be.
Verhoff isn't going to score that many goals.
But like, I guess compared to the hype around them coming into their individual draft years, like it's bigger than ever.
I'm so glad you said what you just said about how this isn't emerging players. This is players who have arrived. And Sean, when you said what you said about the one day we woke up and it was Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes were the best players in the league and everything had changed, I checked that. I looked up the top 25 players in points this time last year versus this year. Last year, in the top 25 in points, players under 25 won. Tim Stützle.
Okay.
Today, 5. Macklin Celebrini, Matthew Nyes, Connor Bedard, Leo Carlson, Cole Caulfield. Last year, players under 25 that were top 25 in goals. Last year, 1. Cole Caulfield. Today, 8. Cutter Gauthier, Cole Caulfield, Jack Hughes, Macklin Celebrini, Dawson Mercer, Seth Jarvis, Logan Cooley, and Connor Bedard. So last year, there was 1 player under 25 that was top 25 in goals, and this year there's 8. That number's gone from 1 to 8 and 1 to 5 with points. Crazy.
One of the most fascinating things about those lists, I guess, is like Matthew Nyes, Jack Hughes, Seth Jarvis. Like they didn't even clock with me as being part of this youth movement, and they are.
Seth Jarvis is 23.
Been in the league for a couple of years, but they're still young.
Yeah, Jarvis. I mean, Wyatt Johnston is the one that consistently trips me up because I feel like he's been in the league for 6 years at this point, and I know that he's still young, but 22 is crazy.
Yeah, and obviously, again, these lists don't even like have room for guys like Lane Hudson or Matthew Schaefer because they're defensemen, obviously. But like, yeah, it's just a lot of young players. Like, it feels really good. I feel like every sport goes through this. Went through it with the NFL where it was like, what's like, is there going to be a next era? Because before we had all those the quarterbacks that I mentioned earlier, there was also like Josh Rosen burning out. Sam Darnold didn't look good. Like there was kind of an era, even like Jared Goff early on. Like we were like, is there going to be a next era of like greats?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously there always is going to be, but like it's cool to actually see it.
Demina Scott has kind of clocked it like the NHL did, where they're putting out these commercials for the last couple of years saying the golden era is now. They clocked it. Like they've got a bunch of young stars who are ready to take over the league. What's cool though is that like on the same day that we're talking about this, we're still talking about Ovechkin. Crosby's still tearing it up. Malkin's still tearing it up. Like there are still a number of old guys that are there too. Like the league feels like it's in an awesome place right now.
Someone in the chat said we're eating good right now. Boy, are we. We're going to eat even better because we're going to bring in Steve Peters from Inside the Coach's Room on YouTube. Also just does so much stuff with the nation now. We absolutely love it. What's up, Petey? Who do you like the most out of all these young stars? And do you agree that we have kind of turned the page while keeping, as Pete said, the other book is still very much open with Sid and Ovechkin, and I know these guys are younger, but like the best players in the league are still McKinnon, Draisaitl, McDavid, etc. What do you like most, and who do you like most of these young guys?
I think what's exciting is what you said. When you go back to let's go back to the World Cup 2016, you're talking Matthews, McKinnon, McDavid, and all that young core, and you go, oh my gosh, these guys are the future of the NHL. Well, this new crop, the amount of talent and skill in this group of players, the game is clearly continuing to change and evolve and get better talent-wise. And I think we're going to talk about some of the teams that are struggling. We're looking at it because they've got veteran good players. Well, that's not what winning anymore. Like you need these young players. That Anaheim Duck team is phenomenal to watch. But Macklin Celebrini is the best, hands down. He's the guy. Bedard's a nice player, but Bedard needs players around him to be good for him to be good. Macklin Celebrini can do it by himself, and I think that's the differentiator between those two. Macklin Celebrini is absolutely elite, and I just wish for his sake and maybe for hockey's sake. I think it's great that he's in San Jose. I think it's great for West Coast hockey. I think it's great. The problem is he's not getting enough eyes nationally because he's not playing in Pittsburgh, Boston, New York, Washington. And I think more people would appreciate how he is playing right now if they were getting more eyes on him.
Yeah, but he's our tuck king. We love a tuck king. And I didn't think about this until now, and you're the perfect person to have in front of me as this thought comes into my brain. Team North America. Imagine if Team North America 21 and under was in the World Cup of Hockey next year, or 23 and under, 23 and under was in the World Cup of Hockey next year. The fact that they're not doing that at a time when like that team might actually beat some of the competition in the field feels like a big miss, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I think that's one of the big things the league did at that point because they really wanted to put a face and a name with all of those young players. And right now, really, those guys are driving the league. And I think when you look at what Schaefer's getting national attention and you talk about Celebrini and Bedard, absolutely, I think they missed. And one of the things the league is trying to do is trying to be like basketball. They want to sell our stars. And I think they're getting better. But this would be a fantastic opportunity. Can you imagine? And I think it was kind of gimmicky the first time they did it because they really just needed to fill out enough teams to play. But by the end of that tournament, that was the team that people were rooting for because it was McDavid, Matthews, Johnny Hockey, and the list went on and on. And I do believe that if you put that out there now with the game played the way it is now, with the speed that's played with now with those guys, and can you see them facing off against McKinnon and McDavid? Yes. Like I think that'd be, I'll buy tickets. You know what? Just make that the All-Star game every year. The over 25 and the under 25, count me in. Don't use borders, just use age.
And you know what? That's a gimmicky thing that leagues have done in the past where they're like, at All-Star Weekend, we're going to invite some like, of the younger players. And they're like a Rising Stars game, and they're going to play against each other or whatever. Like, no, right now, this league is in a rare position where you could do the like Rising Stars, but like, what the fuck, you going to call Macklin Celebrini a rising star? He's one of the best players in the league right now. But if you did, as Pete said, just 23 and under, and it doesn't have to be Team North America. I know that most of the guys that we're talking about, really all of them that we just talked about, except for Ivan Demidov, are from North America. But if you just did Leo like Carlson. 23, Leo Carlson. If you did 23 and under versus 24 and up, hell yeah, that would be so captivating. Make a little, it would, I mean, after Four Nations, I think we've clearly learned that not doing a traditional All-Star game is the way to do it going forward. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to What Chaos here on YouTube. You will get everything, daily episodes, player interviews, and so much more. It's all here on the What Chaos YouTube. Hit subscribe.